So I had an idea that I thought I would call, Are You Seeing This Shit? Um, because, in my opinion, I could be off my rocker. You know me. I say a lot of stuff that I assume are relatable. This is one of the things, um, one of many, um, that see people who have avoidant personality disorder, they don't have as many relationships with people, and also the people they have relationships with in a lot of cases um, are abusive or controlling, or else, you know, they wouldn't have avoidant personality disorder. Um, so, stop looking and fluffing. Anyway, um, this is not something that's specific to people with avoidant personality disorder. Um, but what my concern um, is that if you don't have it and you run across somebody who's mistreating you and then you talk to somebody about it, then they'll go, "Wow, yeah, you're right. That's not cool what they're doing." Um, and people with avoidant personality disorder don't have somebody to bounce off of to say, "Yeah, that's not cool." Um, so this is me saying, if you run across this, you know, it's one of those things where I would say, "Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this shit?" Um, and the first of this group that I wanted to talk about are people who I do not understand this. I mean, I can kind of understand this, but I can't at the same time. Um, People who abuse those who are helping them. What? If you're helping somebody out, especially if they've asked for you to help them, or they've, even worse, if they've implied that they need the help, and then you're like, okay, I'll help you with this, and then they attack you in some way, either criticize you or sometimes physically attack you, or just are just horrible people when it's going on. I mean, what it is their self-esteem is taking a hit. They're feeling diminished in some way. They're feeling, their self-esteem is low. Um, they're feeling humiliated. They're feeling like you're going to rub it in their face that you had to help them because they would rub it into somebody else's face if they helped them. And so they're taking out all of that, awful feelings that they're having on you. It has nothing to do with you if somebody pulls this stunt. Nothing at all. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that you're helping them. It's not your fault if you stop helping them. It's not your fault if you continue to help them when you realize what's going on. It's not your fault if you feel stuck with this, and any of the abuse is not your fault. And when that happens, I see it. I recognize it in 2 seconds. Um, that's the second thing that people will do. Once first they will do the attack, but then the second thing they'll do is come up with a way, and they'll tell you point blank, if you call me out for acting like this, I'm going to say this, that, and the other about you. I'm going to turn it back on you. Oh, I see it in 2 seconds. Um, and I don't. I try to stick up for myself sometimes, um, or just leave if I possibly can. But um, I'll give myself a break about it. I know it's not about me. Um, I know that when I run across that type of thing, it's going to take a couple days for me to recover from it because I will believe that crap because it absolutely aligns with the avoidant personality disorder. Of course, I deserve to be treated like that. I mean, it makes no sense, and that's the other thing that it's like this paradox in the universe. Wait, I helped you. You know, maybe you can't force yourself to be nice about it, but you don't have to be mean about me doing what you asked and help. Happens often. It happens very often. By people with low self-esteem. And, they figure shit rolls downhill. You're clearly in a worse, self-esteem state than they are, so they're going to kick it down to you. And it's the only way that they can feel better. It's about them. It's not about you. And I see it. I see it that you're going through this. I see it. I wish that you would be able to recognize it yourself quickly. Because then, once you've learned to recognize it has nothing to do with you, and yes, it's wrong. It's just wrong. It's wrong in this world. It is opposite of how people should behave toward each other. It's weird. It's some quirk in the system. It's not right. You're right to think it's not right. It's not that you individually, uniquely are the one that's targeted, and that people will treat you that way because of, you're just it. That's what it's going to feel like. That's what it's going to feel like. And that's what's going to resonate in your head. And you're going to be like, right. It makes no logical sense in the world, but I'm not of the world. I am of ABB land. There are different rules that apply for me. That's what your brain is going to tell you. That's what your avoidant personality disorder is going to tell you. And it's wrong. And I know it's wrong. And you know it's wrong when you run across it. So, when you have that feeling and you're like, is anybody seeing this? I can't believe how somebody would. It's completely correct that it's outrageous and wrong and has nothing to do with you. And just try to keep that in mind and just be aware of it as quickly as you can and then let it go. And I know that, that's almost impossible. I know. But you will learn to let it go easier and faster with practice. Unfortunately, there's a very good chance you're going to have practice. And I wish it wasn't the case. But once somebody who's in that position realizes that they can kick it down to you, they're going to keep kicking it down to you. And I wish it wasn't true. But the only way to stop that from happening, well, there's two. One, you can completely cut them out of your life. But that's really difficult for someone with avoidant personality disorder to do. Or you can learn how to not be as reactive to it. And, there's a point where, and it's usually in the very beginning, where it's just like, oh my God, what did I do? How can I help? How can I make this better? Okay, well, if you do that and they come back at you even stronger than ever, there's your test. There's your test. It has nothing to do with you, and it's all about them, and that they're just going to attack more and more and more and more and more. And there really is nothing that you can do to appease them. So, I don't know. I do know that if you want a structured plan on how to learn how to not be so reactive to absolute bonkers crap like that. Is if you look into DBT, dialectic behavioral therapy, um, not all of it, obviously. First of all, I would not recommend doing an actual formal class because then you have to do group therapy. Mm-mm-mm-mm. But they do have workbooks. You can do it on your own. Um, Pick and choose because some of it is very triggering. It'll be like, here's your homework, call somebody and go out to see a movie with them. Maybe there's a pandemic version. Pandemic rewrite. Where people can't do stuff like that. But it'll still be like, call somebody up and talk to them. Ignore that crap. But as far as there are sort of checklists on how to separate somebody else's opinion from your perception of their opinion and what your opinion is. And then you can, it'll help you to sort of pull back. It's not easy. But again, the first step is just being aware and seeing it, recognizing that is a truly bonkers situation. It's not anything that you did to deserve it, which also probably seems like really, really obvious. Obviously, I didn't do anything. The avoidant personality disorder in you is going to want to take the blame for everything, and make you feel guilty and go back into your shell and not interact with people at all because it's painful but safe. You don't have to do that. And you don't have to take crap from people. I wish I could say, this is the plan, this is what you do. But in each situation, it's different. In every situation, you might not really be bothered by what is clearly a psychotic break, type level of criticism from somebody you're helping. You've got a crotchety old neighbor that, you're still going to grab their mail for them or something stupid like that. And it doesn't affect you because this is not a person that's really in your life. That was weird. Sorry. Try and stay in the camera. Anyway, you know what I mean? Whereas, like, say your partner might do something and you would be truly devastated and affected by it tremendously and worry about it for sometimes years. That happens. So it's not one size fits all, and I can't say just do this, everything will be better. But I can say that being aware of being mistreated by somebody when you're trying to help them, yeah, that's crazy. And yeah, that's alternative universe, upside down world. And it has nothing to do with you. And, you don't have to have that in your life. Or you at least don't have to be reacting to it in the way that whoever's doing that to you wants you to react. Because then they can, maybe they have a worse situation than you, but they can still control you and make you, I'm being paged. This is Pansy. Say hello. Come on, say hello. Apparently, it's time for me to just shut up. Huh? Okay. Bye.